This is done by design. This ain't by accident. And I can't believe you guys think that I want to train in this place.
We were just talking about heaters.
I told him, I said,
we
gotta get some heating in. I know we're gonna have to get some heating.
Phoenix and Las Vegas, I seen the heat. When you're on the plane, we went to Phoenix because hell was booked. You know what I mean?
You know, in training camp and in life, when times get hard, I've been blessed to be around people that are older than me and live longer than me, which means that they're wiser than me. And I listen, and they give me experience and valuable assurance that life is tough. So when it gets tough in my journey, believe me, I'm not the only one going through it. So it keeps my head high, my feet on the ground, and I keep striving because we're here once.
I need this, come on. I need this. Come on, just like that. Don't go like this, go like.
And again, pop that long jab. There you go, and again. There you go. Beautiful, pop that long one too. Open yourself.
Well, you break him, unpredictable. Exactly, Mike! Beautiful, roll, Mike! Excellent, excellent. Complete game, beautiful game. Complete. There's nothing to say.
There's nothing to say. As Mike Tyson walks into camp, Anthony Joshua gets the ultimate tool. This changes everything before his career-defining fight with Tyson Fury.
Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
Before this fight, Tyson said that Joshua wasn't sneaky enough, but now he's making Joshua better, sharper, and harder to hit against Fury.
They should have made him more elusive. You know what I mean? More elusive. He throws his punches with just bad intentions. And I used to believe the consistency of the hard punches to the body, to the head, what he's capable of doing.
Working with the legend makes Joshua feel more confident, which shows that his drive has made him feel alive, different, and ready to beat Fury when they meet.
Coming here first, I was a bit skeptical first. I've had a good camp in Sheffield, right? So it's kind of upsetting a good pattern. So I come in here, you've never boxed in here before, you're gonna spar in here, and you haven't kind of, any gym you go into, even if you're sparring your opponent or your sparring partner, the gym's got some character and atmosphere. You can just feel the energy that's been in there before. This gym just felt like empty. It didn't have the life in it, but now I feel like having the first session in here, it's good because like you kind of take the cobwebs away, you bring some life to the gym, you get familiar with the campus and all that. It's important.
It's important. This strong alliance is supposed to do a lot more, but the recent events surrounding Joshua's fight with Fury are already getting people all over the world excited.
It makes it an interesting fight. We're all going to have an opinion on who wins, who loses, and we're not going to find that out until November, hopefully, when we get this fight over the line.
It's a very good segue into when we believe this fight is going to be. Now, the direction of travel that they're talking about next week, when Turki Al-Sheikh, Spencer Brown, Frank and George Warren, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, they all sit around the table, Netflix, Seller, maybe Dana White, who's going to have some involvement. He's still saying that Zuffa Boxing are going to have some involvement of it. All arrows are pointing across the pond at the moment, and we're going to take your calls on this as well.
There is already a lot of disagreement about where this big fight should take place. Gareth A. Davies has suggested that the fight could happen in November. Spencer Oliver joins the talk and says that British fans would be very disappointed if this historic conflict happened in the United States. He said that the fight was very important to Britain and that fans should be able to watch it live at home.
Those arrows pointing across the pond, is it right that it takes place indoors at Madison Square Garden on November the 14th, which is what people are talking about at the moment as the potential date, rather than indoors at the O2 Arena in London, which is just as iconic for these two fighters, and it's the same number of seats?
That's exactly right. I was going to say that there's the same number of seats, and yeah, it's, you know, iconic, and the history of it, well, Muhammad Ali and all the other great heavyweights that have boxed at Madison Square Garden. I understand that, but this is a fight for the British fight fans who have supported these guys over the last decade, have been there, travelled abroad for both of these guys as well. The fight fans sort of
Joshua is trying every possible method to get in the best shape possible. He started by training with Usyk and is now adding Mike to his camp. But Frank Warren has said bad things about the method. Warren didn't understand how he did against Prina and why working with Usyk didn't help. Joshua didn't give a new show. Instead, many fans thought it wasn't good enough. Warren thinks Fury will stop him, so he makes fun of his workouts by saying that he can build muscle, but not his chin.
I make of it. Look, I think Tyson's a big favourite. I've said that all along. You know, styles make fights, and I think Tyson will stop AJ. He will do what Daniel Dubois did.
Did you think so on AJ's performance? Do you think he looked, you know, a little bit past his best?
Well, he's not the same guy he is he? I mean, you know, how old is he now? It's like, oh, it's like
36.
I'm an old geezer. We're not the, you know, he's been working out with Usyk and doing what he's got to do. But look, you can, and he looks, they've got him doing a new, different physical regime. But what you can't do in boxing, you can't put muscles on your chin.
When looking at Joshua's performance against Prina, Teddy Atlas also thinks Fury has a big edge in the fight. The skilled trainer thinks that the fight will show Joshua's weaknesses, especially when he faces Fury's unique movement, size, and unpredictable style. Atlas is worried about Joshua's ability to make the changes that need to be made while fighting someone who is a problem from many angles. His words have put even more pressure on Joshua to show that he can handle Fury's special task.
I believe that the way I saw Joshua early in the fight, how available he was, if that's fair. And again, he'll be better too. You know, he'll be more alert. He'll know that he has more of a danger in front of him. But I just think that the hand speed, the length, the ability of Fury, the legs, to be on the outside, that maybe he could get to Joshua before Joshua could get to him. Does that make sense? Because Joshua's going to probably have to be, for me, the fight plan would be always with Joshua. You want to back the guy up with that stiff jab you got. You got a good, stiff, hard jab.
It's likely that Joshua and Fury will fight, and Atlas breaks down how that could happen inside the ring. During important times, he looks at how both heavyweights can use their physical advantages, technical skills, and experience to take charge. He thinks that the fight might come down to timing, strategy, and how well each man can handle stress. His research shows the strategy spots where Joshua and Fury can use their best skills to change the way the fight goes.
You want to back them up and set the table. You know, you want to set the table, go to the body, but you want to set the table for the right hand for the most part. And you want to control that distance with that jab, where you clear the way, you back him up, you keep him, you know, defensive. And I think that Fury, his ability to use his legs, to counter punch, to put punches together, to run punches, that he'll have a chance where Joshua stands up a little bit in front of you. He's not the quickest feet to close. He'll have a chance to run some punches before he closes the gap. Does that make sense?
Next is Joshua's former trainer, Ben Davidson, who talks about the heavyweight's career, the changes that have been made recently, and the choices that have affected his preparation. Ben Davidson talks about Joshua's effort against Prina and looks at how the fight went. He also talks about how Pringa's plan surprised a lot of people, which led to moments during the competition that caught both fans and experts by surprise.
So it's who gets it right on the night, who gets the tactics right, and you know, sometimes small little things fight week, and you know, these little bits can have a huge impact. So obviously they're two top operators, and that's what everybody's tuning in for, to find out who's going to come out on top.
A lot of people obviously tuned in after everything that had happened with Anthony Joshua, and they were saying it's going to be an easy job with Pranga. I think Pranga shocked everybody that night. What did you make of AJ's performance overall?
I think that it's very difficult. I've been in this situation before when you got to fight a massive fight like Tyson, an AJ sign.
Ben says this is what happens when a boxer is under a lot of stress, which is what he thinks Joshua did. He thinks that the stress of planning the Fury mega fight hurt his mental health. He did, however, tell everyone that Joshua came back strong in the second half, showing determination and drive. Many people were amazed by his ability to come back, and fans admired how he handled things when they looked like they were against him.
Practically signed, you've got this tick over, everybody's assuming you to go in and do this job. That brings a hell of a lot of pressure, and yeah, I think he went in there maybe a little bit with, I'll take my time and, you know, be safe, get the job done. And, yeah, got off to a shaky start, obviously, but I think settled, realised, hold on a minute, you know, not here to mess about. Went out there and got the job done in a second, so obviously was pleased to see that.
A lot of people on social media, Simon Jordan was one in particular, saying that he thought that it was fixed. What's your reaction to that?
I haven't got one.
No.
At the same time, Tony Bello has responded to the growing criticism of Joshua's defense. He thinks that being criticized a lot about his chin is unfair and shouldn't affect his career. Bello says it doesn't make sense to criticize Joshua's durability unless a top heavyweight beats him badly. Bello doesn't think it makes sense to criticize Joshua's endurance unless an elite heavyweight beats Joshua by a very strong champion. When talking about the Prinoff fight, he talks about how Joshua can handle stress, get back to normal, and show the mental and physical toughness that has made him such a dangerous opponent, even though he has never been dehydrated or sleep-deprived. He gets up all the time.
When he's never been starched and he's never been flatlined, he always gets up. Even against
That's what he said, to be fair.
Even against Daniel Dubois, he always gets up. Once again, don't quote that gobshiter to me. He's an arsehole of the highest order. Anyone who works for that rag, I'd never speak about him. So we're going to have to change the quote while you're going to have to ask me that question. People are seeing something on social media and they were saying, oh, his chin, or he's short, or he's this, or he's that. The fact that he gets up shows you there's absolutely nothing wrong with his chin. Fitness is what gets fights off the floor. Anyone who knows boxing understands the science of it. Anyone can go down. It takes 2.5 pounds of pressure.
Additionally, Tony Bello thinks Joshua should be praised for facing Fury when many others would have chosen not to. He says that other boxers are aware of how hard Fury is to beat in the ring. On the other hand, Joshua can still do a lot of damage. Apparently, Bello thinks that beating Fury in 12 rounds would be hard. Joshua needs to find a turning point. Stunning knockouts are what he thinks will win.
Rest of the other heavyweights. Out of all of the dangerous other heavyweights, the top 10 in the world, Anthony Joshua would be picking Tyson Fury to face. Because all of the others have got more pop than him. And with just that alone, you would be picking Tyson Fury. He's the boxer. He's the one who doesn't want to have a straight up fight with you. He's the one who wants to box you. And the best usually way to beat a boxer is, well, it is to just get rid of them. And I think that's Anthony Joshua's best chance. If this fight goes to point Anthony Joshua loses, Anthony Joshua has to win by knockout to win this fight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's not going to outbox. Let's be brutally honest. He's not going to outbox Tyson Fury.
No, I don't think so. I think that's right. Yeah, definitely.
We know what Tyson Fury's like. He did say in the
Speaking about the likely fight, Andre Durrell says he thinks that both giants would be better off with another fight before they go head-to-head. He thinks that their recent efforts have made people wonder if they are really ready for such a big event. Durrell says that before Fury and Joshua fight, they need to show that they can still compete at the highest level. If they do well in their next show, it might boost their confidence and get people more excited about the confrontation.
This is all it's gonna be.
I know.
Give me your thoughts on Joshua and Fury.
We will get the most out of what they have left if they decide to fight right now. However, if we let them get another dub, another warm up, because both of them in my book, bro, it didn't play out right for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we don't get the best versions, but we get the best of who they are now. You know what I'm saying? If they just clean up a few things. Because Anthony Joshua, though trying to implement whatever Uzi gave him, you know what I'm saying, the confidence he gained or the mentality he went in there because of the accident, losing his friends, gave him, spiritually, man, he was packed in. He was locked in.
Daryl also talked about how he felt about the problems that Joshua was having in the ring. He thinks Joshua has changed his mindset and stayed focused since his losses to Usyk, but the gains made in training haven't been fully seen in fights yet. When things get tough, Daryl thinks that execution is still not there. He also says Fury should fight again, work on his technique, and get smarter generally before he fights Joshua.
Body's still gonna respond the way it has to respond to certain situations, man. And that's just due to you know, whatever trauma you had to deal with, right? Or the normalcy of just living long enough if you didn't get into an accident. That was AJ's case, man. He was too flat-footed. He was trying to implement, I guarantee you, what Usyk gave him in camp, but you can't be Usyk. Because I know Usyk giving him the ins and the outs. He built for power. He's structured for strength. You know, so you're not going to get that kind of fighter. He was trying to bring it out after being gone, after everything that happened to him. And it didn't work out, man. So give him another fight to try to implement it a little bit more, lose a little bit more weight, and then bring it to the table, and it might work.
Daryl looked at Fury's position in the fight and pointed out times when Joshua could make a difference. He thinks that Fury is not physically or technically ready to fight Joshua directly right now. D-Rel thinks Fury needs to get better in a number of areas before he can face someone so strong. However, he made it clear that Joshua's ability to handle punishment and hard shots will still be one of the most important factors determining the outcome.
He had a hard time as well, man. He was vulnerable in a couple of situations where he gave the right side of his face. If Anthony Joshua was line that fight that shot up, it's over. He let that shot, it's over. So he needs to get back in the lab and just work on some things too. But if they fight now, you know, I would expect to see the best of what they got left, and you know, I'll be satisfied with that.
I compared Anthony Joshua and Edgar Berlanga.
Yeah.
Two guys that they're getting touched with the same punches and they're going down. What do you think that is? Like, what's causing them to hit the canvas as much as they've been hitting the canvas?
Right. Not wanting to. Like, you know, if that's on.
A shocking secret has been found out in Pringa's camp after his amazing night against Joshua. Keith Sullivan, Pringa's manager, has said things about the fight that could change how people see it. He says Prina wasn't ready for the competition because he was sick and couldn't finish a proper training camp. Sullivan said that the boxer came to Jeddah at a lower level than normal. This gave us new information about Prina's problems that led to his loss by stoppage in the second round.
Leading up to the fight, he didn't spar or train for 2 weeks before he got to Jeddah. He had 102 fever and he was in bed for 8 days straight. We brought a doctor into camp. He moved camp over to Dubai. So he brought a doctor in, drew some blood to make sure there wasn't something more serious going on. And they said he was just run down and they thought it was a flu or a cold or something and he would get over it. And it took 14 days. So we had the last 7 days before we went to Jeddah for training. We had a sparring partner there in Dubai who we didn't use at all because he just had we couldn't get him out of bed to go for a walk. In the first round, he came out and just gassed himself out. The instructions in the corner for the second round were continue what you're doing.
People in the boxing world are shocked by these new findings, which many fans see as justifications. On the other hand, Keith Sullivan is still firm about what he says and keeps explaining the truth behind Pringa's performance. He says the boxer came into the fight with a lot of health problems. Not being able to carry out the planned strategy, Sullivan's comments have added more debate to a fight that had already made fans very angry.
What happened to him, like in an instant. He said it all came right back to him. And the lack of training, the lack of cardio that he wasn't able to do in the 3 weeks leading up to him, they caught him right at that moment. So in his head, he kind of changed the game plan from what he was instructed to do. He said to himself, I've got AJ's number. I've knocked him down 3 times. I don't care what anybody says. It was 3 knockdowns. Those ropes held him up absolutely in between the 2 counted knockdowns. You see his body flop back. If those ropes aren't there, he's on the flat of his back. And Christian Pranga has knocked a 2-time Olympian, 3-time heavyweight world champion on his ass 3 times in the first round. And Anthony Joshua is going into the second round 10-6 down. That's never happened in his life.
A lot of fans are still talking about Joshua's performance, but Roy Jones Jr. thinks the real story starts after the first round against Prina. A lot of fans are still talking about Joshua's loss to Prina in the first round, but Roy Jones Jr. thinks the real drama starts after that. So happy for Joshua on his quick comeback and win in the second round. He says it shows how strong and resilient he is. Jones also says that the fight would have been over for Andre Ward if he had had the same early loss, which makes Joshua's display even more impressive.
Right now. Now, I got to give kudos to him because he came back off those 2 knockdowns and got through out of the second round. That was a beautiful thing. But I immediately started thinking, man, if this was Andre, I don't know if he'd get out this first round. I don't know if he'd get out this first round now because this would be something special. So I definitely had to think about you on that. And as soon as it happened, I said, oh my gosh. I said, wow. I said, boy, if this was Andre, this would be a problem right now. You feel me? So, you know.
I can't say I didn't think that, man.
I just had to share that with you because it did come over me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Shout out to Joshua, man. He, you know,
man.
He may go down, but he gonna always get up if he can. He got a lot of heart, man, and I got a lot of respect for him, man. And I want the Fury fight to happen. I think it got to happen right now, just given where they are in their career.
Alexander Usyk made his guess after closely watching Joshua's recent growth. Usyk has fought him twice before and doesn't think this heavyweight fight will last long. He thinks the match will end by knockout instead of by the judges' points. Also, Usyk thinks Joshua still has the drive and power to change the course of a fight in an instant. He warned Fury that he could make a big mistake by not giving him enough credit.
Last thing, when Anthony Joshua fights Tyson Fury, I know you think Joshua will win, but how? What does the fight look like?
Knock him out. 6 rounds. AJ. Boom.
With each new piece of information, the story of Joshua versus Fury gets more exciting and more questions are raised. The heavyweight world is paying close attention to everything from changes in training to expert predictions and surprising news from Pringa's camp. What do you think will happen when these two huge beings finally meet?